I shot this rifle through the summer of 2025 for a competition that my club does. It's a 440-yard bench rest competition. So I kind of wanted to do an overview of the MDT ACC Premier Gen 2 chassis. Now, as you can see, it's a lot more than the chassis. It's the entire rifle here and how I think it performed overall for not just generally shooting, but in the competition shoots that I did. Now, just to make it clear, it's not a sanctioned like national championship or anything like that. It's just an event that my club does with the members that want to do it. 440 yards, 3 rounds with 10 shots each round, and highest score wins. That's basically how it goes. But for this video, I just kind of want to do an overview of this chassis and what I think of it, the good points and the bad points, and how it performed, for me, for what I was using it for over the past summer. Now, I bought this chassis early in 2025. I just missed the Black Friday sale. I didn't know MDT did those big sales in the month of November, so I kind of missed out. I ended up buying it in January for full price. And I went with this green color. They had a couple other colors, but no, I didn't want black. I have a lot of black rifles, so I didn't want to do that. And I really wanted the titanium blue, but it wasn't available. So I went with this, and long story short, I am getting this Cerakoted probably in a couple of weeks, so I'll have another video on that as well, as far as what it will look like when it's all done. Starting out with some of the things that disappointed me about the chassis, and overall, I think it's an excellent chassis, but I can't go in just throwing all kinds of praise at this thing. There are some things that I didn't really like about it too much, and that was first thing being the rear stock. I had a Tikka T30X TAC A1 before I decided to build a custom rifle, and with that had a folding stock on it. And I first bought this, I was kind of bummed that it didn't have a folding stock to begin with. And I actually asked MDT in one of their social media posts on Facebook if they were coming out with a folding stock option for this, and they said they were. It would be out this year in 2025. That dropped a couple months ago, and I did buy one right before Black Friday. What I was thinking that they were going to do was supply an adapter to have this fold the existing one. What they actually did was it's an entire new interface, entire new buttstock for the rear that you have to buy, which is $500 if you don't buy it on Black Friday. So I bought that. I bought the adjustable vertical pad on the back and the weights. So basically this section I have here, unless I build another rifle, another MDT chassis that will accept this buttstock, this is pretty much useless now. All the while I was thinking they were just going to do a folding option for this one, but they didn't do that. So I had to buy a whole new, basically back end of this rifle. And the reason why I went with the ACC Premier Gen 2 over the Elite was primarily for the price. So if you take the price of the Elite, which is $1,500, this was $999, then you add in the folding buttstock and the adapter plate and the weight, you're over $1,500. I could have got the Elite to begin with, but then you don't get the folding stock option either. So it's kind of give and take. Either way, you get into this particular sport, all of it costs a lot of money. You can try and save some money here and there. I bought the folding buttstock for Black Friday. I saved $50 on it, so you can shave some savings. If you a little more frugal about it. The other thing that I was slightly disappointed with about this chassis is the grip. The grip that's on here now is the Elite grip, which is excellent. I really, really like this thing a lot. The one that came with it was plastic, very hard, and it just didn't have the adjustability that this Elite grip does. It cants forward and back, is adjustable, front and back. So you can really tailor it to how you want it to be for the size of your hand and the grip where you want it. Now with this, I have it canted back a little bit, which makes my reach with my trigger finger. I lay my thumb right on the rest here, and it falls right where it should, with it tilted back a little bit with the way my hand is. So I like that quite a bit. So as far as that goes, that's really the only negatives that I have to say about this. So I'll bring up some of the other points that I really do like about this chassis overall. Now, if you buy this without the fold-in stock option, and the thing that really kind of irritated me is you can now buy this right on the site, the chassis with the folding stock already with it, for less than what it costs to already have the chassis bought and buy the folding stock to go with it. That will cost you $15. I believe the one with the folder already equipped it onto it is $13. So where that $200 went, I don't really know, but that's for MDT to decide, I guess. As far as the rest of this goes, I do like this chassis a lot. It's a very, very nice chassis. It's very, very well built. The color options are nice if that's the thing you're into. As far as, if you don't want just a standard black, they do offer some other nice colors. There's another guy at the competition shoots that I do has this exact same chassis, and he has his in the coyote tan color. Really, really nice, good looking chassis too. As far as the adjustability on this, it is pretty nice. You can adjust this rear cheek riser. It does go up and down, and it does go back and forth. So you can really set your eye relief to where it is comfortable for you. You have that ability to really custom tailor this chassis to your particular body type and size and really make it fit well. You also have the adjustable buttstock spacers back here. These are removable, so if your length of pull, you want it longer or shorter, you can add these or remove these however it's fit for you. I didn't take any of these out when I bought this. These are what they came with. It has the number of spacers in it as it was out of the box, so that wasn't something that I really messed with. The length of pull for me was pretty good just as it was set up. The buttstock pads in here do help with the recoil. I have one missing right here because I'm about ready to completely strip this down to just the chassis. So I did take that out to make sure I had the right size Allen wrench in there to take this apart again. Those do help with recoil. I was out shooting one of my ARs early this summer. My wife was shooting the AR that I have, and she's working her way up to this. She's a little scared to shoot this because it's chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's pretty loud. And I told her, I said, I bet this rifle probably kicks less than what my AR does. So I was watching her with the AR and watching the recoil. And by far, I can tell this has much less recoil than my AR does. So I think these buttstock pads in here really do help with the recoil, even with 6.5 Creedmoor, or if you're shooting with 308. So it's a nice addition to add all that in there. This also has the option to add a lot of weight to it. This whole rail, the bottom, underneath the barrel here is all loaded with weights on the bottom. This gun altogether weighs just short of 20 pounds because the weight may change. I'm not sure what the new weight for the new stock is going to weigh and all that. So it's just about under 20, but I'll revise that when I do like an overview of the rifle and the entire build on this. But you can also add the MDT weights on this rail here if you want to add even more weight. I haven't really checked the balance on this because this is primarily, for me, a bench rest gun. So the weight balance isn't quite as important as doing PRS, or if you're going up against different setups and moving the rifle around, putting it on different positions, stuff like that, where you want a really balanced rifle. So for me, the weight transfer hasn't been an optimal thing for me at this point. But if it is for you, you can add weights on this rail on the outside along with the weights on the bottom. So it makes it, more heavy if you want to add weight to the front, or, lighten it up on the front. You can take weights out. These are all individual weights. I think the Premier Gen 1, it's a single rail, and it doesn't fit the Gen 2. It's good having the single weights, because if you want to take weight out, you have that option instead of putting them all in or only running a couple, whatever you decide to do. This does have a real nice barricade stop on the front if you're shooting PRS. It's got a pretty steep shelf here. It's serrated right here, so it's really grippy. So if you're pressing this right up against something, up against a barrier or a stop or anything like that, doing PRS, you got a pretty good surface to grip to and to press up against anything. So that's a real nice option on this as well. The trigger area it's very open, and it provides you a lot of room. Even if you have big fat sausage fingers, you'd be able to fit it in there really well and it wouldn't be a problem. So who is this chassis for? Should you buy this based on what you're doing? Now, this can be used for bench rest or PRS. The club that I'm a part of, we do have PRS competitions, but I have not been able to compete in one of those yet because of my work schedule and the dates that they fall on and stuff like that. So I've only been doing the bench rest stuff, but I want to start doing the PRS. Hopefully there's some dates for 2026 where I'll be able to make a few of those. So does this make a good PRS chassis or a good bench rest chassis? I would say definitely yes. If that's something that you're looking to get into, I would highly look into something like this. As far as like a hunting chassis, maybe not so much, just because I think there are better options. The LSS Gen 3 has a shorter end on it, this whole fore-end area here. The rail is much shorter. So you cut that and cut that extra area off, put on a carbon fiber barrel, don't load this up with a bunch of weight, and you have a very light chassis in the LSS Gen 3 that they have now. If I was building a hunting rifle, I would be more geared towards doing that, trying to cut as much weight off as you can. The weight on this, I believe it was around 8 pounds. If I'm wrong, I'll throw the number up there, so I'm not giving you guys bad information. But it fits this barrel really well. This is a 26-inch barrel. It's a very, very thick barrel. It is a match grade barrel, like I said, so it's very, very thick. And it clears this really well. There's enough room on the bottom, enough room on the side, so you have plenty of room on this channel here for a big, thick barrel if you're into doing competition, or if you're considering putting a really beefy, heavy barrel on here. You definitely have enough room on this reel here to do that. Now, how does this compare to other options on the market within the same price point? There are a lot of really good chassis manufacturers out there. I could sit there and list off a bunch of them. But if you're looking into chassis or came across this video, you probably looked at other options too, Masterpiece Arms, Accuracy International. They all make really good chassis, and believe me, there's a lot more out there. I'm not trying to remember all of them right now. But I would put MDT right up there with any of the best. They make really, really good quality stuff. I had really good luck shooting this rifle this year, and I contributed a lot to the chassis and as well as the components on this rifle, which I will get into at a later date. I'll go over everything on this rifle and the breakdown of the total cost and all the parts and all that stuff. But that's for another video because I don't want this to drag out for far too long. But overall, really, really happy with this chassis. If I do decide to build another rifle down the road, maybe a different caliber, maybe something for my wife, I would consider doing MDT again, unless I'm going to go real budget and maybe do, I don't know, Magpul or something like that. Magpul has some cheaper option chassis. May not be as good as this, but it's another option to look at if you don't want to go $1,000 plus range for a chassis setup. But I would definitely, if I was going to build like another rifle right now in a different caliber, I would probably do the LSS Gen 3 and have it with this stock. I would like to be able to use this at some point and put this on it and build it for a different caliber or something like that. But overall, real happy with this rifle, real happy with this chassis. The sub button is down below if you want more rifle related content. I'm going to start doing gun reviews, not just rifles, but handguns, stuff like that. That's all for later videos down the road. Appreciate you stopping by, and see you guys in the next one.